Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nitty Gritty to Balance podcast. I'm your host, Abigail, and joining us each episode is my mom, Staci, a holistic health coach and intuitive. Each week, we discuss topics through the lens of her work and subspecialties to bring to light the balance in the everyday. So with that, let's bring in the brains behind the balance and get this episode started. Welcome back to today's episode, ladies and gentlemen. We are switching up this episode a bit. So what is our nitty gritty for today, Mom?
Today's going to be fun, a little relaxing. So the nitty gritty of today is all about you.
Me?
Abigail, the voice behind our vision. Let's get to know the darling angel co-host of Nitty Gritty to Balance, Abigail. I have some good questions for you. I hope you're ready.
Okay.
There are a wide range of topics to move in and out of who and why you are your special self. I'm excited for this one.
Me too.
Are you ready to give our listeners a glimpse into your beautiful being?
Yes, let's go for it.
I think our listeners, they've been listening to some of our episodes, hopefully all of them. And it's time to start letting them
get to know
us.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm a little bit excited. Just a little bit.
Well,
I'm wearing a color that I feel comfortable in. I'm wearing some of my favorite earrings.
They're very cute on you.
My favorite hairstyle. So I'm very much showing up as myself.
Very good. We wouldn't want it any other way. We should always be ourselves.
Yeah. I'm just feel like my being.
Good. So question number 1.
Okay.
Why are you so beautiful? All right. As your mom, I have to ask you that. I have to throw that in there.
I look like you, so you can pat yourself on the back. Everywhere we go, people say, "Are you twins?"
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
So the joke there is, do I really look your age or do you look my age?
Well, you must look my age.
I hope that's the way it is, right? I think we both hope that.
Yes.
Okay. In all seriousness, here we go.
Here we go.
Real question number 1. What kind of movie would you want to act in?
Mm-hmm.
And what role would you play?
That's a fun question. And the answer to me is kind of funny, but I would want to play a mysterious character.
Mm.
Whether it's the main character or a side character, I would just want to be mysterious. Like almost like a spy or something. I don't know. That's what resonates with me. A mysterious spy.
So would that be comedy? Would it be thriller? Would it be drama? What would that?
It would probably be, I think of like a James Bond movie.
Okay.
Kind of like thriller, suspenseful, mystery. Yeah.
Yeah. I could see you in that.
Is that what you thought I was going to say?
No.
That's funny.
No, I thought rom-com.
Oh, I love to watch rom-com movies. I don't know if I would want to be in a rom-com.
Oh.
I would want to be like serious, like badass energy.
Okay.
That's what I would want.
Fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Not what I pictured.
A mysterious
like
spy. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, it's very James Bondish. So
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like elegant. Like there's going to be a scene where I'm in a long red dress. You know, that nice. Kind of mysteriousness.
Nice. Why did or do you want to do this podcast?
It's certainly present tense do this podcast. But, and we've said this before in previous episodes, but we just enjoy sitting and talking. And I think we're just bringing our conversations to life. And that's very exciting. It feels like, we're reaching out to a community of like-minded people and sharing our ideas. And feels very authentic to be able to talk and cultivate this community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think
there's
that's
so much
certainly,
to talk about.
there's so much to talk about.
Yeah. And we can sit and talk, gosh, for hours.
Yes. And it's truly like time is non-existent.
Yeah.
It's just, I think it's just natural.
Yeah. It's just a flow that we get in, and it just, we have to finally say, okay.
It needs to be done for today.
Yeah, I gotta go.
That reminds me, I do need to be done by 3:30.
Oh. Okay. Let's get this going then.
But that's what I would say. I would just say the connection that we have, and we get to purposefully sit down and have these conversations on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's certainly something that I look forward to, just getting to spend that time with you, regardless of, how much attention we have from this, but ultimately growing the community is our goal in this.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're doing it from such a loving place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Authentic,
Mm-hmm.
loving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to be transparent.
Yes.
Get to know our community and have them know us, our little tribe.
Yeah, exactly.
So, how was your childhood?
Oddly enough, I get this question a lot. I feel like it's kind of a funny question for some people to ask. But I always say magical.
Wow.
If I could sum up my childhood in one word, it would be magical. Because we grew up in such an interesting time where when we were younger, we were outside all the time. And then as we got, more teenage years, phones and TV shows and tablets and iPads and all of these things were becoming the norm. But we still had that authentic childhood innocence that I feel like lots of kids don't have now necessarily.
Yeah.
And so for that, it was magical. We were outside playing in the woods. I recall it being almost every day.
Yeah.
And there's just we had endless imagination. And I think that is so crucial for children to be able to experience and fulfill that imagination. I mean, I think about all the time, so many times just running around in the woods, walking around in the woods. I loved to play in the woods after it had rained. And you did not like it because of the fear of a tree falling or a tree branch falling or us there's a few more things that could happen after a heavy rain.
Yeah.
But, just the smell of outside, just seeing like the water drip off the leaves. It was magical. I always loved that. We would always run outside and we would get in trouble if we didn't put our shoes on. And so we'd say, okay, Mom, we'll put our shoes on. And as soon as we get to our spot in the woods, the shoes were off.
Which I had no idea until you guys just told me this, I think, just several years ago or something. Yes. I had no idea. You were like, we'd take our shoes, but we would take them away from the house. Yeah.
Well, because we played Avatar in the woods,
right.
And they don't wear shoes, Mom.
They did not.
Oh, we would climb trees barefoot. We would, man. It was magical.
Yeah.
There's nothing else I could say. It was magical.
So it sounds like, I mean, obviously I know, but our listeners may not know. Sounds like you didn't grow up in a neighborhood.
No. We grew up in the middle of nowhere. And growing up, it was like, I live in the middle of nowhere. And now it's like, I wish I could live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. 20 minutes from a grocery store.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out in the country.
It is a different lifestyle, but it was perfect.
Fostered a lot of imagination.
It did. It really did. One of my favorite memories is, I think we were doing chores outside. We were feeding the horses and everything, and it was raining. It started pouring while we were out there. And I think my sister and I didn't care. We were like, whatever. Got our clothes soaked, our hair soaked. We didn't care. And then after we finished feeding all the animals and got back up to the house, we decided to jump in the pool. And swimming fully clothed in like sweatpants in the rain was such an incredible experience. I remember it so vividly. It was just something that I think about often. And that was even when I was older, when we didn't play outside as much anymore.
Right.
I want to say I was 14 or 15 when I did that. And so it was kind of like that childhood excitement feeling again that maybe I hadn't felt in a little while.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it sticks with me. But to answer your question, magical. My childhood was magical.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that's how you kind of, you saw it.
Oh, yeah. And I tell people all the time about our wildlife rehabilitation because I still tell people that was probably one of the highlights of my childhood. As intense and grueling as it was at times, it was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
So grateful that we all got to experience that.
So what did you experience with that? What wildlife did you come in contact with?
I say that we specialized in white-tailed deer.
We did. Yes.
Majority of where our time and energy went was to white-tailed deer. And one year we had 70, right? 70 at one time.
We did.
That's incredible.
It's crazy.
But, they're just so sweet. Such big personalities you would never expect.
Yeah.
You would never expect. The little babies. They were just so cuddly, so sweet, so scared. There were the really shy ones. And then there were the ones that are like, hey.
Yeah.
Where have you been?
Yeah. Not afraid of anything.
No. But then, of course, we had the bunnies. We didn't do raccoons very much.
No.
Possums, we did quite a bit.
Yeah.
But then my favorites were squirrels.
Yes, you were the squirrel girl.
I was the squirrel girl. I don't know. I just loved them. I loved them.
They had a lot of personality also.
So much personality.
Yeah. They were fun.
Yes. Very, very fun. But yeah, I say the rehabilitation years were certainly one of the highlights of my life. That was a very fun time. Yeah. But again, it was hard work.
It was a lot of work. Kept us very busy.
Yes, it did.
10 years we did that.
Yeah.
And I did rely on you kids to help out.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to. I don't think we ever... It was just going and collecting the milk that we didn't want to do.
For all those deer.
For all of those deer.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, even... I don't necessarily remember, but even all the times that we complained out there, cutting browse, collecting browse, tossing them out, putting the bottles in the... You know, if we complained, we loved it. As much as we may have made you think that we hated it.
Yeah.
No. It was so cool.
It was a good experience. I'm glad it's something that I was able to do, and then also something that I was able to include you kids in doing, because I think it really did teach a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
Of responsibility and caring and love and nurturing and chores and yeah. So with your childhood, then let's get into what are your parents like?
What are my parents like? My mom is a very strong woman.
Oh, thank you.
The strongest woman, I would say. I feel like my mom knows what she wants, and she will tell you what she wants. I think of my mom sometimes as a drill sergeant.
I've kind of played that role here and there.
You certainly have. And that is something that I always loved, is that you wanted to be so involved in our sports.
Yeah.
To the point where you led our teams, mine once and my sisters once, but you're always all in. And I just loved that. I think in the moment, it's like, oh, my mom is my teacher and she's my coach.
Yeah, that's what I felt from you kids.
Yes, but it's so interesting, the point of my life that I'm in now and being able to reflect on all of that. It was incredible how much you really dedicated to our sports and the things that we did.
Yeah, you kids were my everything.
Yeah. Yeah, we know we were.
Yeah.
You did a lot to show us that we were and still are.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mom's very strong.
No.
The strongest. She doesn't want you to see her cry. She will keep her emotions and you will not see a tear. And when you do, you're also crying.
They've been bottled up. But I'm trying to fix that because I don't think that was necessarily the right thing. But
I could agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just for yourself to feel like you can let these emotions out.
Right.
I feel like for a long time you thought, no, I can't have these emotions. I can't show these emotions. Right. I have to be strong.
Yeah.
Yes. And you were. That's why I say you're the strongest.
Oh.
And then it's very interesting to think about the difference between you and Dad. Mm-hmm. I think this is how it's supposed to be, is that you see Dad as the fun, playful, lighthearted parent, and Mom is the strong, strict, the backbone of the family. I think that's how it's supposed to be. Would you have rather have the perception of the fun parent?
No, because then I wouldn't have the nickname that y'all gave me.
That's the nickname that we gave you.
Fun sucker. I was the fun sucker. I always nixed things that I didn't think were, should be happening or whatever, that Dad allowed or was instigating or however that happened.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But so, somebody's got to play one of those roles. And that was mine. I was always definitely the much more serious one.
Yeah. But we were also with you all day. Mm-hmm. So there was that, stretch of time where we were goofy with you or just laughing with you.
We had so much of that. So let's go ahead and I guess bring that aspect in. Why were you with me all the time?
Because I was a homeschooled girly.
But not always.
Not always. I went to kindergarten, first grade, and second grade.
Yes.
After that, so third grade until I graduated high school, I was homeschooled.
Yeah.
And I tell people, because I'll tell people, oh, I was homeschooled growing up. And they always say, oh, how did you like that? And it's like this nose scrunch, and it's like this, how did you like that? And I always tell them, oh, I loved it. I wouldn't want it any other way. And then they always kind of relax and like, oh, really? Why? Because there's this perceived homeschoolers are weird, they're antisocial.
Yeah.
I'm not saying those people aren't out there, but you and Dad did a perfect job of, I guess, also just the culture in our home. We were very respectful. We were very polite. We ordered our dinners at a restaurant. We weren't afraid to talk to people.
Right.
And you guys put us in those positions to have to talk to people. And I've never felt socially awkward, but I have always felt like I don't fit in with people my age. And at the beginning of really understanding and feeling those feelings, I didn't like it. But I grew to like that about myself. Because I don't feel like I need to fit in with people my age.
Right.
I would rather be truly myself and attract the people that like me for me.
Yeah.
I've never been someone that submits to peer pressure. I was always the person that was sensing peer pressure, and it would totally turn me in the other direction. I want nothing to do with this. The more you push, the more you ask, no. Mm-hmm. And I've always admired that about myself.
Yeah.
Because I don't need outside influence or other people show me how to be or validate me. I'm just myself. And I'm fine with myself.
Definitely. Yeah. So we all
Yeah.
should be.
I think so.
We should love ourselves.
But being homeschooled really cultivated that in me, I feel like.
Yes, you were able to keep that confidence in yourself.
I was able to, and I tell people this all the time, I was allowed that freedom to discover who I was without outside influence.
Mm-hmm. Now, you had lots of activities that you were involved in. So you were around kids your age, older, younger, all the time.
Yeah.
You guys were in so many activities.
And if I wasn't in an activity, I was going to my sister's activities.
Right.
You know, her softball games were some of the most fun I've ever had, just sitting on the bleachers and watching her play. Mm-hmm. So fun.
Yeah.
Just being in that and experiencing that. Watching her do her passion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always great. But back to the parent question. Yeah, dad was the fun, the goofy. Mm-hmm. He still is the fun, the goofy. But I just always, him being the business owner and the sole provider of the household, always had this respect for him. Just seeing him always working and knowing that it was for our family. You know, there were so many times where maybe we didn't see him in a day just because he was working so long or out of the house for so long.
Yeah.
But I think I just always knew and always thought as a kid, okay, well, he's doing this for us.
Yeah. And
I remember anytime I would hear about a customer giving him a hard time or, you know, dad had a hard day, I would always lay in bed at night and think, oh, if I could just go talk to that person and say, you need to be nice to my dad. He is a wonderful man. Just always wanting to stick up for my dad.
Yeah.
But when he was home, you know, he certainly liked to relax on the couch and watch his shows. But the two of you have always been there for us. Speaking for myself, I, in certain moments, maybe didn't feel this way, but reflecting back, I absolutely knew you were always there for me. There's really never a time where I felt like I can't trust you or I can't confide in you. I can't talk to you. And even now, as an adult, you guys have always been there for me. And the type of parents that you guys are, you would set aside anything if I needed your help with something. And I think that's certainly, I had great role models to now apply to my life as a parent. There's so many things that I'm taking now into this phase of my life that I learned from you guys.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we tried to, just be the best that we could for you guys. No, it was not a rosy life all the time, but we did laugh a whole lot.
Oh my gosh.
We had so much fun homeschooling and being together, and that's really, I think, what we really enjoyed that time.
We did.
And you had the choice to be homeschooled or stay in public school. I didn't make that choice for you.
I don't remember this part of my life. So I can't speak for that. Yeah. But I do remember, because you pulled my brother out for necessary reasons.
Yeah.
I do remember feeling like, I want to stay home. I remember there's so many mornings where I'd wake up, Mom, my stomach hurts. I can't go to school. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that I decided I want to stay home.
Yeah, you kept asking, when did you get to stay home and be homeschooled? Yeah. And so we finished your second grade year, and then over the summer, we talked often about, okay, are you sure this is what you want? This is how your life is going to change. This is what you're not going to be doing anymore. This is what you are going to be doing. Are you sure you want to do this? And it was always, yes, you wanted to stay home. You wanted to be homeschooled like your brother. And so I said, okay. And then that was, that's how we chose that for you.
Yeah.
And then your younger sister, 5 years younger, she never went to public school. She just went right into the homeschooling.
Yeah.
Which we kind of started at age 2, 3. She had her fun little workbooks, and she was able to just come sit down and work when she wanted to, color, whatever it was. And then she would go off and play, and then she could just come back. And if you remember that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I remember I would take one of her books into our room, and I would open it up, and I would sit her down, and I would say, you need to finish these 2 pages. Oh, no. And then she wouldn't, so I would just do them for her.
Oh.
So I was like, you didn't do all of your work.
Lovely. So in talking about, things weren't always just as great as, some of the memories, we got along great.
Yes. You're always my best friend.
You were the easy child. You were the peacemaker. You were sweet and angelic and just easy.
Yeah.
Compared to your sister.
Yeah.
And even your brother. But there was one
moment in our relationship
that was very serious.
Yes.
And it's so funny to even, your dad was witness to it, and it's so funny to hear his take of it. And he was a little bit in shock and awe of what was kind of going down. So you wanna talk about that?
I will be so honest that I was blinded with rage in that moment. So I don't truly remember. I remember we were outside.
Yeah.
And I remember what it was about, but I don't remember much of the details of what happened. But I remember it was at a very pivotal point in my life where I decided, I was 18. I had decided I was moving out of the house. I was moving to...
I don't think you were 18 yet. I think you were just 17.
Maybe I was 17.
Yeah.
But I had made the decision with your support, not on my own, but with Mom and Dad's support, had made the decision to move away from home to another city and start schooling for aesthetics. And we had family in this other city, so I was moving in with family. I wasn't living on my own. It was the perfect transition for me to get some separation from home, feel a little bit what being on my own could be like, and starting a career, essentially. And from what I remember, the actual situation boiling down to was that I did not have a bed frame to put my mattress on for where I was moving to, because I wasn't taking much of my furniture with me. And I think you were telling me it was too expensive, or we can't get this right now. There was some reason why I couldn't get it. And in my head, I was thinking, well, that's dumb. I need this. And then I think you had bought something for my sister. And it was like a $300, I think, like bridal set for a horse. It was something crazy. It was something outlandish. It was something like, she didn't need this right now. I'm the one that actually needs something so I can move. I think it was that, right?
It was along that line.
Okay. I remember that getting to a boiling point that led to the situation of us outside.
Yeah.
And I got in your face. I truly don't remember all of what happened.
Yeah, I think you were really speaking, I don't know, rudely or disrespectfully to me. And I think I came into your space maybe, but we were toe to toe.
We were.
And we were
face to face.
Face to face. And both of us were pretty heated.
And you thought, you were fearful that I was going to hit you.
I thought that we were about to.
And that was never an idea that I had, was to hit you.
or to wrestle it out or something. Not necessarily that you were going to be, abusive to me. But I did think that, we
something was going to
just get a little physical, a little wrestling or something. And your dad has that take as well.
Yes.
He was like, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen here. Because we were at that level.
Yeah.
But what I remember is that, yes, it was about this bed frame, this furniture that you were needing. But I had told you that you needed to find it.
Oh, okay.
And you weren't doing that. You just kept telling me you needed this, like you were expecting me to go find it, buy it, all of that. And I kept telling you, you need to do this. You need to find it. And you weren't doing that.
And I wonder why I wasn't doing it.
And then after we had this face-to-face, toe-to-toe, then I think it was like a day or two later, you had it sitting in the Amazon cart. And I bought it. It was that quick and easy. But it was...
There was something.
Yeah, there was something there where you weren't doing what I was telling you, the ball was in your court to do.
Yeah. Okay. Gosh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
And I know
missing that piece that the ball was in your court. You were thinking it was in mine.
And I don't know too if I think like maybe a year or so afterwards, reflecting on it, I didn't know. I maybe think too, there was like this fear of leaving. So it was holding me back from actually finding the bed frame, but I knew I needed it and time was getting closer and closer. But it was also like, okay, when I get this bed frame, it's real. I'm leaving home. I think it was.
And that's what it was. You just reminded me. Yeah, you were telling me that I didn't want you to leave. That I wasn't doing this because I was trying to keep you home.
You're not ready for me to leave.
That's what it was. Yes. And that's why I came back in your space and telling you that
you need to do this.
That, you were supposed to be doing this.
Yeah.
I wasn't keeping you. Although, yes, I was heartbroken that you were leaving at 17. Yeah. I wasn't ready. I thought I had probably another year with you.
No.
And here it was.
Yeah. Well, I came back.
You did. What, a couple years later?
Almost 2 years later?
Yeah.
A year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
And it felt great to be back home. Yeah. Back in my room.
And you had finished.
Yeah. I finished school. I started working. I moved to that city. I did what I was supposed to. I had expected to stay in that city too.
You did,
because I remember after school was over, one of my good friends that I had made in the class, we had talked about getting an apartment together. My aunt and I went and looked at apartments together just for fun, just to see what was around. And yes, it was fun and it was exciting, but it never truly felt right, even though I loved that city so much. But I came back home And I mean, thinking about everything now, everything happened for a reason.
It does.
So being back home, that was a good 3 years, 2.5, 3 years. And then I was truly ready to start my adult life at 21 and officially moved out at 21. Mm-hmm. And I think at that point you were like, okay, bye, Abigail.
Yeah, it was time.
So it was, I always think about that. You know, I left home at 17, 18 for a year and a half to 2 years. And it was a great like baby step out of the house. Yeah. And then coming back and then getting to fully start my adult life.
Yeah.
I think was so great for me. So great.
Yeah.
And
you were always responsible and very mature. So there was never really any worries there.
Yeah.
Obviously, just the worry of you being safe and on your own.
Yes, because I decided to move by myself, which is really never something I thought I would do, especially my first place by myself. But I had a great job at the time. I had just gotten a job promotion and could afford everything on my own. And I was very ready to I was fresh out of a long relationship and just ready to be myself. And I got to have a space that was totally and completely mine. And I could rule however I wanted. And it was such a great time in my life.
Yeah.
Pass by that apartment all the time and just remember.
Yeah.
It was such a great time in my life. And that's the place that I met my soulmate. And it's funny to think about being single and thinking, I'm not interested in dating. I don't want to date. And just being very closed off to that idea. But then one day I started to kind of get these visions of walking around the apartment, kind of the sidewalk trails, walking my dog with my person. And I started to feel these feelings and catch these images in my mind. And anyone I would meet after that point, I would just immediately know if that person was right or wrong because of the sense. I knew a person was coming to me. I wasn't so spiritual then as I am now, but it's so fun to look back on and know that the universe was telling me that someone was coming.
Yeah.
And the moment I met my now husband, I knew he was that person. And the first time that we walked around my apartment with Luna,
your dog,
my dog, holding his hand, I was like, oh, this is exactly the feeling that I had and the image that I had before I even met this person. Yeah. So it's a very special place to me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty unique.
It really was.
Yeah. So being homeschooled, we briefly touched on activities. What activities did you do?
Biggest one for me was taekwondo. And it's something that I really would love to get back into as an adult. I really would. But we grew up in a small town, so our class was small. And I feel like it really allowed our instructor to kind of handpick students to really cultivate the art of taekwondo.
That's what he did. Yeah. He was not one of these instructors that just handed out the belts. He expected what he was teaching from his students, which, you know, as a parent, putting their kid in a class like that, I really appreciated that because he really expected
he did.
A lot from his students.
Yeah. He was
and you had to earn
what
you got.
Yeah. He was a great instructor. I pull lots, still to this day, I pull lots of mindset. It was really the mindset that he trained us on, which is so funny to think about because we were 9, 10, 11 years old meditating. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I didn't realize I was meditating, but we would meditate at the beginning of every single class.
Right.
And to be 11 years old and know how
you were younger than that.
Sure.
You stopped at 10. So
did I really?
You did. So I think you started maybe 5, 6. And then you stopped at 10.
Yep. That can't be right. Because I think Claire started at 5 or 6. I think I had to have been 11 or 12 when I finished. And I think I was 7 or 8 when I started. I don't think I was in it for 10 years.
I'll have to go back and...
Yeah, I'd be really curious to know exactly what ages. But to my point, being 9, 10, 11, and being able to shut your brain off and get into your body is so powerful. So powerful. And it really would just gear your mind towards what we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. And the class was such an incredible workout. I had the craziest 6-pack of abs that any 10-year-old should ever have. But, and I remember too, when I started the class, there was this stretch or this conditioning workout that we would always do at the beginning of the class. And it was, I forget what it's called, but it's kind of a reverse plank where you're laying on your back and you lift your feet and your shoulder blades up off the ground. Mm-hmm. And you're just resting on your kind of your pelvis area. Mm-hmm. It's incredible core strength is what you're training. And I remember the first few classes that I did that conditioning exercise, I was like shaking. I couldn't hold it. It was so difficult. It was so hard. And I was shaking, trying to hold it. And I was like, why am I shaking? This is terrible. And I went home and I practiced that in my room, in the living room. I practiced it. I would just sit in front of the TV and hold that reverse plank. Do you remember that?
I don't.
Because I was so determined to get to class and not struggle trying to hold it. It was just the dedication that class taught.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest one to me is Taekwondo. We did a lot of horseback riding. That was very fun. Very fun.
Horses.
We did Western. We did English. We did lessons off and on for years.
Mm-hmm. We did.
And that was very fun. I always enjoyed being out there. I maybe didn't enjoy getting up or getting the horses in the trailer and tacking up. And I maybe didn't enjoy all of that.
Yeah.
But it was always so worth it once you're up on the horse and you're just riding.
Yeah.
And then into my high school years, I did soccer. And soccer was always very fun. I always really, really enjoyed soccer.
Yeah, and what's so funny was one time in soccer, you're running, and I think a kid tripped you or something, yes. And you just did this beautiful over-the-shoulder roll and just rolled right out of it, and I think you stood right up out of that
kept
roll,
running,
and everybody was like, wow. How did she do that? And it was like, Taekwondo?
Yes. And
you guys did rolls after rolls after rolls in Taekwondo. He taught y'all how to fall and roll. And
and it was just instinctual.
Uh-huh.
That, yes, I fell, and it was that instinctual kind of rounding the shoulder, which is what we were taught.
We taught you. Yeah.
Rounding that shoulder. So it kind of takes the force off of the fall.
Yeah.
And then just rounding your back, and the momentum of me falling and rounding just stood me right back up, and I just kept going.
Yeah. It was just beautiful. And I think you had done it in other scenarios too, with some of your other activities where you had fallen and just, really neat.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
But that was all I did, right?
No. You did cheer when you were 4 years old.
I don't remember cheer. We have the photos still, but I don't totally remember.
You didn't like that. It hurt your throat, you said.
I just couldn't participate, Mom. I could put on
you would
put on
stand
the
on your head most of the time. Yeah. And you couldn't cheer because it hurt your throat.
But then dance and tumbling.
Yeah,
yes.
You did some hip hop.
Yes.
Ballet.
I did
ballet for a little bit.
But that's so funny because you put me in ballet, but that's how we found the taekwondo instructor.
Yeah.
Because the classrooms were right next to each other.
Yeah.
And my cousin was in the taekwondo class, and I was in the next room doing ballet.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to be in here. I want to be in there.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
And that's where it started.
Mm-hmm. And your sister continued ballet until she was old enough to then, which was, I think, 4 or 5 is when she moved into taekwondo.
I think she was 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, tumbling was always very fun. I always really enjoyed tumbling. But that was all, huh? Cheer when I was 4.
Yeah. We just did that one season.
Ballet.
But then you went into piano.
Ah, that's right.
And voice lessons.
Yes. I don't think of those as sports, so my brain definitely didn't go
or
there.
Activities.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, piano. And piano was fun. I liked piano.
And you chose that.
Absolutely. But I also, one of my biggest hobbies, and still to this day, one of my biggest hobbies is doing my own nails. And I would show up to piano class with these long nails.
Yes.
And my instructor hated my nails.
Yes.
Because I wouldn't position my fingers properly because they needed to be almost like perpendicular to the keys. And they were more so like parallel to the keys because of my nails.
Yeah.
And he's like, you just can't play properly because of your nails. And I'm like, well, I quit.
You did?
I did, basically. I was like, well, I'm not clipping my nails, so I'll see you later.
Yeah. And that's what transitioned you then into voice.
Yes, which lessons. I'd always enjoyed singing.
You have.
We have lots of musical people in the family.
Beautiful voice, yes, that you did not get from me. Yeah, your dad's side of the family has the beautiful voice.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's so interesting because I really loved singing. And my instructor for my vocal lessons, she was great. I loved her. We got along so well.
Yeah.
But then she moved. And after that, I was like, I don't want another teacher.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it anymore. But I do think about what could have been if I kept up the lessons or if she didn't move away and whatever.
Yes. And she specialized more in opera. So she was really teaching you control of your voice and where you were singing it from, not just singing songs.
Right. Well, and she taught me what a head voice was versus, I forget what the other name for it is. But the head voice is just that like breathy, like nasally. You're talking, but singing voice. Whereas, more so the vocals that she taught were kind of inner. It was all about creating space in your mouth to project the sound, which is what opera is. It's creating that dome-like space in your mouth to project the sound from inside rather than like speaking the words in a melody,
Yeah. Beautiful. And it has been almost 10 years
probably
since
I was probably 15 when I stopped. Yeah 10 years, almost 11 years. Yes, and I was telling you that song, that the vocals that she taught is such a different muscle because when you're in the car singing or in the shower singing, it's more so that head voice. But I get inspirations every once in a while of, just singing a song. Mm-hmm. And I always do it when I'm home alone. I don't let anybody listen.
And I always ask you, are you singing to Perry? And you say, no. Sometimes and I give you the evil eye. You need to be singing to your baby.
Sometimes I do. And like when I'm scrolling on social media and a singing video comes on and I'm like watching it over and over again and analyzing this video, I'm like, I could do that. And so I'll start singing it. And Perry always looks at me.
She loves it.
Yes,
she loves singing.
She does. She really does.
So with that little intro there, how is young adulthood, parenthood, married life?
Yes.
How's that?
And I feel like this has been a trend in my life, but I'm the first of the people in my life in my age group to do this. To be married and have a baby and have a house. I feel like, I don't necessarily have a friend that I can go to and talk about all of this. I feel like I'm really pioneering this way of life.
For your friend group.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so anytime someone asks me a question, I don't want to inspire any fear or negativity. But if I'm being absolutely, completely honest, it's the hardest thing I've ever done. But I think it's supposed to be the hardest thing I've ever done. Okay. I don't think it's supposed to be easy. We were talking a lot before the podcast started about 2024 and what that was for us now that we're in the new year. And I told you that I was reflecting back and thinking, oh gosh, I really didn't do anything this year. That sucks. But really, truly analyzing the past year, I did so much. The amount of personal growth that I've gone through, the struggles that I've gone through just in that 1 year because of how much change we had.
Like what? What are we talking about? What was the growth and struggles and accomplishments?
I can't recall if we've talked about this before on the podcast, but the identity shift that you go through as a mom. Because being so comfortable in myself for as long as I can remember, and then now having a baby, it shifts your identity. I mean, mentally, I think very differently now than I did before I had a baby. And it's the chemicals in our brain. Our body does that for a reason. But there is this death of self because you have to be a new person in this new phase of life.
Right.
And I think at the very beginning of my pregnancy, and it'll be fun to get into this in my birth story episode, but when I flipped over that pregnancy test and saw that it was positive, it was this incredible experience that it's so difficult to explain, but every significant memory that I had up to that point in my life just flooded through my brain. And it was genuinely like this book had closed, and I knew I was on to this completely foreign new path in life. And I think I felt very much like I'm starting from square one. And I think I kind of mourned my old self, so to speak, quite a bit of the beginning of my pregnancy. And then trying to nourish and love my body as it changed. And then the baby's here. And then it's almost like, I told my husband, I just need you to take care of me so that I can take care of her. Because I know I will be putting all of my effort, all of my energy into her, and I'm going to forget about myself for a little bit. And I don't know if that's totally right, but I just felt like it's not about me right now. It's about this little thing. Mm-hmm. And thank God that I have such a huge supportive partner to kind of hold me and carried me through that. It's like a blur. I don't remember a whole lot of it just because you're so entrenched in like the newborn days. Mm-hmm. And he was just such a great support in all of that. So that's why I say it's certainly the hardest thing I've ever done, but I don't want to let that scare anyone because I think it's supposed to be hard. And it's just allowing yourself to grow. For a long time after I had her, I was missing my old self because now I wasn't pregnant anymore. My body was starting to go back to normal, but I couldn't just be my old self. It's this totally new self that I have to be. Sure. So it's discovering who that person is and fitting in and feeling comfortable in this new identity at the same time as building this new identity. It's so interesting.
Yeah. And just from me knowing you, you're not there yet.
No. Because
your career path, which was what?
Aesthetics.
Right.
And I still am in aesthetics.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you're even discovering with that
directions that I want to pivot to, hopefully in the near future.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So just even being a new person with being a wife now and a mother and a homeowner, now trying to possibly pivot a career path somewhat along the same line, but differently, and branching out on your own possibly. Yeah, there's a lot of transition and a lot of growth and a lot of discovery.
A lot of discovery. But also like that career pivot that we talk about, I think will help me get to that identity quicker.
Because you said that you have such a strong pull to it. So that makes some sense there.
Yeah. It's all very interesting. I'm very excited to see how 2025 unfolds. Very excited for everyone around us.
And so you said your career path is aesthetics. Why did you choose that? What was your draw to that? At the age of 17, you knew that's...
And maybe even before then, maybe even 16. Skincare was always a big passion of mine, and I just enjoyed researching products and ingredients and all these different things, and just making myself feel taken care of. Like it was something on the outside that I could do that made me feel taken care of. And I didn't even know what an esthetician was at that point when I was discovering my love for all of this. And then one day learned what an esthetician was. And I remember immediately thinking, that's what I'm supposed to be. And that's what I did. I knew I didn't want to go to college. And so I knew I was going to pick up some type of trade. And aesthetics was just a no-brainer. And so found the school that I liked. It was the only one we toured. And I remember touring the school and I was like, yep, I want it. And mom and dad kind of stood there for a second and they asked me, they said, are you sure you don't want to look anywhere else? I was like, nope, this is the place. This is what I want. I don't really care what anything else is or looks like or has to offer. This is what I want. And so it was just felt like all of the dominoes for that were just falling very quickly. And maybe that's why I really resisted finding the bed frame so that I could have a place to sleep because everything was going so fast. And as much as it was what I wanted, it all happened so fast. It all just really worked out so fast. But I truly went into this field because of how taking care of myself through skincare made me feel. I wanted to be able to provide that feeling for as many people as possible. And so I went through aesthetic school, and very quickly on, I knew that I wanted to get into more of the medical aesthetics. And so shortly after I finished school, I took certification classes for laser hair removal, laser tattoo removal, laser facial treatments. I just expanded my knowledge in a little bit different niche for aesthetics and absolutely loved it. There was no doubt in my mind that I was going to enjoy this. And so now it's been almost 7 years since I've been licensed, which is crazy. 7 years?
Flew by.
I've had a career for 7 years.
Yeah. That's been a good career for you.
It has been a great career for me. I've certainly hit rocky points in my career. And the most recent rocky point that I hit was right at the time in my life where I found out I was pregnant. And it was kind of this explosion had gone off in my career. Not in a good way necessarily.
Right.
But my life was it was at a point where it was undeniably changing.
Yeah.
But I still love, I'm only taking clients 2 days a week, but I just love fostering this environment for people to come into. Even if I can tell a client is frustrated, they had to wait 10, 15 minutes, they're not having a good day, who knows? I still want to be that smiling face. I still want to be that comforting hand. And at the end of every facial, I'd probably say 98% of every treatment that I finish, my clients go, that was nice. And that's what makes it for me.
Yeah.
I always say, if your facial wasn't good, your esthetician was not having fun. It truly is like this Zen moment for me, because I can go in and I can just do my job and enjoy it.
And know you're making somebody feel good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's nice.
And then at the end, hearing that, just knowing, okay, this was great. This was a great way to spend the last hour of my day. Yeah. I love it.
Nice.
I still love it.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's important.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to switch gears here. Talk about something a little bit different. Have you ever had a spiritual or mystical experience?
The biggest one for me has to be my birth. It really was a spiritual journey for those 6 hours.
Not your birth, but you giving birth.
Me giving birth. I don't know.
You remember that? We haven't talked about that.
Me giving birth.
Okay.
I call it my birth.
Yeah.
I gave the birth.
You did.
But another one would be that moment of finding out I was pregnant. It was incredible. It's hard to explain, but it was like this movie was just going on in my head. It was crazy. That's a very big one as well. But I think the one I'll share in detail right now is one. It was a message that was brought to me through an oracle card. And we've talked about before, I typically will pull a set of cards at the beginning of every week, and I allow it to guide me in that week to help me catch lessons that are coming to me this week or next week. It helps me really focus for the week. And I remember pulling this set of cards, and in one of the cards it mentioned heartbreak, loss, losing a friend, confusion. There was just this heaviness that this card was bringing. And I'm pulling it at the beginning of my week, not knowing what's ahead, but I get this card, and it was a very unsettling feeling. which is not the best feeling when you're pulling oracle cards.
Right.
And it's not something I've experienced to that intensity since that moment. And so I'm kind of going through my week a little wary, kind of, keeping a lookout for what's going on. And at the end of the week, everything unfolded. And one of my closest work friends had gotten fired. And it was this huge, dramatic storm that came through the office. And it truly made me question every relationship that I had with the people that I worked with, because I felt that so many people were lying to me. I didn't know who was lying to me. I was very heartbroken. I was very confused. And it was this total shock. And after the week was over, I go back to my cards, and I always journal on the week and find where the cards taught me a lesson. And journaling back to that, or journaling on that, reflecting on my week, it was incredible how the cards laid out how that week was going to unfold.
Wow.
Yes, it was such a gut-wrenching, emotional week for me. And the cards were trying to tell me, this is coming, so brace yourself. Yeah.
Well, that sounds pretty powerful.
It was very powerful. Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
Very neat. You've had a energy healing.
Mm-hmm.
Once? Twice? Once.
Once by you. And then once paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, how was that?
It was amazing. I was at a very confusing time of my life too when I got that energy cleansing. But when I explain an energy cleansing to my husband, for example, I explain it as an energetic massage, because the relief and clarity that I felt stepping out of that room afterwards was incredible. Much like you feel after an actual deep tissue or a Swedish massage. You walk out feeling like looser and relaxed, and just you feel relief. And that is what an energy cleansing to me is. It is an energetic massage.
Yeah.
And I remember during my energy clearing, my right foot was just moving. It wouldn't stop moving. Whether it was actually moving, or of course I'm laying there in a dark room with my eyes closed, maybe I just felt the energy in my foot. I'm not sure which one, but I just felt my foot moving. And the whole time I'm like, what is going on? And after the reading, of course, he gave some insight to what he picked up. And I had mentioned I felt lots of energy in my right foot. And he was saying, yes, because you are trying to move forward, but something is holding you back. And this left foot was completely still, didn't move once. And it was, like this foot felt anchored, and this one just wants to go, but can't. And it was around that time that I was really thinking about and trying to get myself comfortable with the idea of moving away from home. And so that was that foot that was trying to go, trying to take the next step. Something was holding me back. And as soon as the service was over and I walked out, I immediately was thinking about moving. But to make that move, I needed to end a relationship. And it was the relationship that was completely holding me back.
Yeah.
And of course, some time went on between all of this, but I ended up ending that relationship and moving out of the house and just creating the space that I had been craving for a year or so at that point.
Right.
But I always explain it to people as an energetic massage.
And it really is. It's very comforting.
Yes.
And it does bring through some clarity if you're with a good energy healer.
And our energy healer is wonderful.
He's fantastic. Yes. We love him. So, yeah, they're great. If anybody has a chance to get an energy healing.
Even if you're skeptical, just go do it.
Yeah.
And
it's not going to hurt you.
And see how you feel after.
Yeah. As long as you're with a good healer.
Yes.
All right. If you were to write a book, what would the title be? Why that title? And do you really want to write that book?
This is so funny. Yes, I would write a book. And it's probably not what you're thinking it would be.
Oh.
But it would be a book.
A spy novel?
Yeah.
Mysterious.
And on the cover, it would be a mysterious lady in a red dress. No, it would be a science behind aesthetics book. And basically, you study that book throughout your schooling for licensing for aesthetics. And that's a book I would write. I would put together material for new estheticians in the field. That's not what you thought I was going to say, huh?
You know, I really didn't have any expectation there.
It wouldn't be like a storybook. It would be an educational book for aesthetics.
Which, I mean, really makes sense because you're not a reader. I could never get you to read in school.
Still not a reader.
But, I mean, you can read. You read well. But, yeah, books just never really was your thing. So this makes total sense that it would be practical and usable.
Yes, it'd be a guidebook.
And a purpose to it.
Yeah.
So makes total
sense. It has
sense.
some pictures in there. You know, it would
be a picture book.
Yes, it would be fun. It would be fun to read.
All right, we got to start closing this down. So, what is one piece of wisdom that you would like to give or share with our listeners?
I haven't really thought about this question, but one piece of wisdom, I would just say to trust in yourself. As hard as that can be, it's a muscle that you have to work out. It's something that you have to be very conscious about, is practicing to trust yourself. And that coincides with intuition. You know, it's that trust within us and our being that we know what is right.
We all have the answers within us.
We do. We really do. And that was proved to me more than ever before when I gave birth, unmedicated. Because of how our society really makes us fearful of birth. The moment I found out I was pregnant, I knew I would not be giving birth in a hospital. That was absolutely not what I was interested in doing. And I had told my husband this before. He's always known. But now that it was actually here and he had to truly understand what that meant, I think he was very scared at the beginning.
Sure.
And he was trying to talk me out of it. My mother-in-law was trying to talk me out of it, all from a place of love. I know that. But I did not accept it because that was not where I felt most comfortable. And going through the entire birth experience, I had to release control over my body, over my brain, and I just let things be. Trust in myself, trust in my baby, and it went so beautifully. I could not have asked it to go better than it did.
Yeah.
But that was because I trusted in myself. It was not easy. It was not easy. But I trusted in myself. that this was what was going to be right for me. And it absolutely was completely the right thing for me.
And we will do your birth story. That will be one of our episodes. So
Yes.
hopefully that's piqued some interest in our listeners, and they will want to tune in for that one, because it really is a beautiful story, and
It is.
that'll be a fun one to share. So here's our last question on the nitty gritty of Abigail.
Yes.
Well, we got into the nitty gritty,
We
so
did.
we have our balance left. So what is your balance, Abigail?
My balance is love. And it's the love that I give and the love that I receive makes me feel like I can do anything with a foundation of love. I have the energy to show up as myself.
Very nice.
My balance is love.
Beautiful.
And I'm just surrounded by so much love. I'm very, very lucky to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for letting us get nitty gritty with you.
Thank you for asking wonderful, wonderful questions.
It was fun.
These were
Yeah.
great.
I hope our listeners enjoyed it.
Yes.
Got to know you a little bit more.
Yeah.
Eventually, we'll do a nitty gritty on Staci.
Yeah.
Me.
I'm excited.
But yep, you are the voice behind our vision. You really help kind of pull it together
Thank you.
and keep it together.
And just so everyone knows, you are the brains behind the balance.
Yes.
Well, we have to pull our card and take a look.
Yeah.
Well, the card was already pulled. For those that aren't aware, we pull an oracle card at the beginning of every episode. We let it sit, we let it marinate, and we see what kind of wisdom it has to share with us and our listeners as it pertains to today's episode. So this week we pulled from the Key Elements Oracle deck.
I'm so interested to see
I'm
what it is,
so interested.
since it was honed in on you. Yeah.
Grassroots. Unity is the key. It's time to build alliances for better support for yourself and others you can assist. Let your passionate ideas ignite a movement to help others and the planet by creating a new earth that is supportive and loving.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh. Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. It goes with what we were talking about before we started recording. Kind of your new kind of career path that you're really thinking about getting started on.
Yeah.
And then loving.
And even in my personal life, just having pulled an oracle card that told me to expand my willingness to accept support. And this card is just telling me again, it's time to build alliances for better support. So some support is really coming to me.
It's coming.
Yes. But it's great. Let your passionate ideas ignite a movement to help others. A new earth that is supportive and loving. And my balance is love.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, that's a perfect end.
It is. It really is. Do you have anything else you want to add to this episode?
I don't think so.
I think that's
It was
great.
fun.
Yes.
I enjoyed
Yes. Interviewing
talking
me.
about you today.
all of these answers are very in the moment for me.
Yeah.
I read through some of them and I was thinking about a few things, but I was like, you know what? I just want it to be true to the moment.
Yeah.
These are great questions. You did a great job.
Oh,
We switched roles a little bit. So you were the
this was
question
fun.
asker
Yeah, I like that.
and I was the talkative one today. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today for this very fun episode. As always, if you have any questions or you'd like to reach out to us, you can do so through our email, or you can reach out to us on Instagram as well. Until next time, be balanced.
And be well.
Be well.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. This episode is for educational purposes only. The information is not intended to give medical advice or therapy. Please consult with a licensed healthcare provider before making any changes to your health regimen. Also know that you are responsible for your life choices and circumstances. Until next time,
Be well
and be balanced. Bye.
Bye.